Welcome back. This is the run for bronze in the women's individual pursuit. It's Nielsen of New Zealand up against Saraskaite of Lithuania. Jamie Nielsen, part of the women's team pursuit bronze medal squad, did a 3:38.921 to get into the runoff for bronze. Vilja Saraskaite did a 3:38.073. They're very closely matched, these two, and it should be a very good finish. Good start by both. Bigger gear for the New Zealander.
Yeah, much bigger gear, and Saraskaite just starting in front of us, and she got out of the gate very well indeed. Settles down on the back straight into the aero bars, very upright position. Whereas Nielsen from New Zealand, a little bit, quite a lot more bent over there and aerodynamic. She's her arms are just stretched out that little bit more in front of her.
Well, it's a very quick start by Saraskaite. Sorry to interrupt you there. Just a very, very quick start by Saraskaite, and she's very quickly up. 2.4 seconds up on Jamie Nielsen. However, that may not be the whole story. Nielsen pushing a much bigger gear, is taking it longer to spin it up. Maybe Saraskaite was just playing to qualify. But we'll see what the gap is in just a second. 2.4 still. The women's individual pursuit over 3 kilometers, not over 4 kilometers. The world record 3:22.269 held by Sarah Hammer of the United States of America. Set at Aguascalientes in Mexico at altitude in May of last year, and Sarah Hammer will be coming up very shortly in the runoff for the gold medal.
Saraskaite's here, gonna have Nielsen in her sights soon.
2.456 the gap. Nielsen's big gear choice maybe not working out very well for her at the moment. You never know though. Remember that she may well have a game plan that's very different to Saraskaite, who's spinning much, much quicker. 2.5 now, the gap has gone out to, well, I think Jamie Nielsen's sort of underestimated Saraskaite's ability here. You never know, she might die in the last kilometre, but at the moment, it's advantage Lithuania.
Yep, and she'll be able to see her now. They're almost in the same straight. Well, I say straight. There aren't very many straights on this track, are there?
2.9, very short. Nearly 2.7 seconds now is the gap. Saraskaite continuing to pull away from Jamie Nielsen, and yeah, she may well see her by the end. Around the same side of the track is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, but Saraskaite has visibly slowed. For me, she's visibly slowed. I mean, it's not coming back massively by any stretch of the imagination, but
2.5 now the gap. It's she lost 0.4 of a second to Jamie Nielsen, but it's too late, I think, because at 2 kilometers Saraskaite was 2.9 seconds up. Maybe she's just knocking it back a little bit. The Lithuanian coach giving her instructions down on track side. 2.539. I think it's enough for Saraskaite at the moment for the bronze medal runoff. Remember, the world record is 3:22.269. 2.6 seconds is going out again. It's a bronze medal for Lithuania. There's no way with the bell that anybody's going to take that back. Vilja Saraskaite is going to be the bronze medalist here. And 2.6 seconds still the gap. Bronze medal then for Lithuania. And the New Zealander misses out. Well, she, I think, lost that in the first 450 meters, 500 meters of the 3 kilometers. It's interesting. It's exactly what Jack Bobridge did yesterday. He took
2.5 of a second in qualifying. Both of these, I think you'll find, have been in this position before. So this should be very, very interesting indeed. Very experienced women pursuiters here. Hammer in the home straight in the white with USA on her kit. You can see her there. Shanks, obviously, in the back in the black. Hammer, you remember, in the women's team pursuit, very frustrated towards the end, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Took, you know, did like the last lap and a half turn all on her own and inadvertently dropped her teammates.
Alison Shanks, former world champion here. And a very nice woman she is too. Well, they both are actually. Sarah Hammer is a tremendous athlete, formerly coached by Andy Sparks, who is now the coach at Cycling Ireland. And for such a small build woman, Sarah Hammer just is a tremendous rider. She's not the most elegant of riders at times. We've seen her before, not looking incredibly elegant when she's riding. Alison Shanks, a much taller, bigger, rangier rider, and they've gone out. Both of them have gone out quickly.
Big gears, very big gears.
Hammer 1.9, 1/10 of a second down at the moment on Alison Shanks. 0.2 of a second down on Shanks. And Shanks is going very well, looking confident. This is going to be very, very close because in the qualifying, Shanks was second fastest, 3:33.789. Hammer was 3:33.522. But we've seen, and well, we saw in the team pursuit, Tony, that that girl there, Sarah Hammer, can really motor in the last 500 meters, kilometre or so.
Well, how far were they down with, you know, two laps to go? I think they were
tremendous,
3 seconds down, and Sarah Hammer actually finished at virtually the same time as the British girls, but unfortunately she finished on her own 30 meters in front of her two teammates, which doesn't count and doesn't help.
Alison Shanks is up at the moment, 0.2 of a second, and that was all taken out in the first lap, in fact, the first 2 laps. That's 500 meters, as we said, but it's very, very close. Nice, solid position for Alison Shanks, right down on that pursuiter's line. Hammer not looking ragged at the moment, beginning to already adjust her position on the saddle. She sways the bike a little more. Shanks is, as I say, a very elegant rider. Martin Croft quickly asking a question on Twitter. We keep saying this track is slow compared to other tracks. What makes certain tracks faster? Well, a number of things. There's not a solid base underneath this track. It's very bouncy for a start, which makes it inconsistent all the way around. But also, you can see, when you get a wide shot of it, it's what we call a big bowl. It means there's hardly any straights on it, hardly flat section in the middle. It means that there's no slingshot off the banking, and it tends to make it slower in general, because you don't get that tremendous slingshot of speed, especially for the sprinters. Pursuiters, it's less so because you're right down the bottom all the time. Also, it's been very high barometric pressure in here, which also slows things down.
Very, very close here between Sarah Hammer and Alison Shanks. I think there's only, what are we down to? 6/10 of a second.
Yep, 6/10 of a second.
And don't forget how quick Hammer can finish, although she looks a bit laboured at the moment.
Yeah, she was already looking to adjust her saddle position, but remember, she can absolutely fly. Shanks still looking solid. Beginning to roll her shoulders just a little bit, Shanks now. The head beginning to bob. This is interesting. Is it 3/10?
Yeah, she's half the deficit. Here we go.
The gold medal's in sight.
She's got it down to less than 1/10 of a second. That's how quick she can finish.
Shanks is a tremendous finisher, but Hammer is even better. She's going to have to really go for it. Oh, Shanks is now down. Hammer's done it. Hammer has accelerated that last kilometre as she said she would. The gold medal goes to Sarah Hammer. Well, we did say she had the most incredible turn of speed over the last 750 metres. And that's what she did. She just opened the taps and away she went.
Unbelievable finish. 3 laps to go, she was 6/10 of a second down. 2 laps to go, she was 3/10 of a second down. Lap to go, she was 6/100 of a second down. She won the race by, let's have a look here, 3/10 of a second. So
took over a second out.
Yeah,
just over a second out of Alison Shanks in 750 meters.
Yeah.
And Shanks looks absolutely distraught. She's touring around going, what on earth happened to me then? I've been mugged. That's what she's thinking. And Sarah Hammer is incredibly happy. And everybody, once again, for the second time today, standing ovation. Alison Shanks, well, she's acknowledging the crowd, but Sarah Hammer, stars and bars flying. Or should I say sorry, the stars and bars is the Confederate flag, isn't it? Oops, it's the American flag. Excellent. Wow, look at that. Look how much she took out of it. Shanks giving it everything. She's an absolutely formidable athlete. And we saw it in the team pursuit. She's capable of accelerating in the last 750 meters.